I've done a sound test. University off-spin bowler and WA off-spin bowler Corey Rockacholli. Welcome, Corey. Well, it's the umpires are walking out. Won the toss. Chosen to bowl. It looks like we might have a bit of weather this afternoon. What's the word on the street?
The word on the street with a laptop in front of me showcases a bit of rain.
So we'll see how we go. But this broadcast has been brought to you by the Chatfield Group, who have been a sponsor here at University of Western Australia Cricket Club for about 6 years now. James Chatfield and his team of mortgage brokers do a wonderful job out of Leederville. I think there's their office now, Corey.
A couple of good ex-uni players there.
Ex-uni players also working for James. And James has been at the, and the Chatfield Group have been at the forefront of broadcasting of Premier Cricket in the last 6 years. They were the company that came on board that allowed us to pioneer the live stream product that so many people utilise now, that they know as Frogbox. Well, the University of WA were the first club ever to do the live stream, and we pioneered that technology. And here we are trying to continue the push into the realms of improving the broadcast quality of Premier Cricket, and we've got full broadcast today with ball tracking camera and multi-cameras and commentary. So for all of those who are watching the stream at home, I hope you enjoy the afternoon and the product we're about to produce. If you are watching from near or far, feel free, and you know me, feel free to text me on my phone, and we'll mention you on commentary. But first ball here, Josh Vernon to Tom Murray. And it's a wide down leg side. So, Corey, what do you anticipate from today's game?
And a biased approach, I hope University win. I'm excited to see some good cricket. I think Midland-Guilford are up there with one of the best teams in the comp in white ball cricket. So, it'll be a good opportunity for us as a club to try and showcase our skills against them. Yeah. Obviously got some strong batters, Midland-Guilford, and we've got some good players. We've got the inclusion of Charlie Stobo and Viv Paver today, and hopefully a good day of cricket all round if this rain decides to stay away.
He's taken him on, and that's going to be close, and he's out. That was always going to be a tough second run. Murray very ambitious with that, and he's been run out. So wicket on the first legal ball of the so 1 for 3. So If you wanted action, we got action. Well, we're going to talk a lot about university cricket today, Corey, but before we do that, we should respect the opposition. And Midland are a very formidable side in Premier Cricket this year. Who are the key players for Midland that you see out there today?
I think their captain's Keaton Critchell. He obviously made his second 11 debut during the week. I feel like he's one of their better batters. Obviously got the experience of Tom Beaton, young West Australian rookie in Josh Vernon. Across the board, they've got some really strong players. I think Jordan Masters playing as well. So strong side with lots of experience. We've obviously got our experience with James Bracey walking out to the middle, another like-for-like left-hander for left-hander. But yeah, across the board, they're a really strong side. Josh Vernon's a really exciting product.
I believe that Keaton Critchell is captaining today. He's been sort of around Premier Cricket for a while now. I remember sort of 5, maybe even 7 or 8 years ago, him coming through the junior ranks in WA Premier Cricket, and he was a very exciting young prospect and then battled injury. And it seems like he's just sort of really finding his feet of where we all thought he could be as a cricketer, now that he's sort of through those injuries in his early 20s.
Yeah, exactly right. It's a good summation as Verno comes in again.
And there's a wide. So an interesting start here. We've got how many legitimate? We've had a lot of action, but only one legitimate ball. It's just a light sprinkle coming here at the moment. So hopefully we stay as a light sprinkle rather than anything heavier. So it was an interesting morning out here. The University Colts played the Midland-Guilford Colts, and the way the competition is set up is there's 4 pools of teams in a bit like a World Cup. There's 4 pools, and each group has 4 teams in it. And in the University and Midland group, there was also Scarborough and Claremont Nedlands, and entering today, all teams in that group were on 1 win, and so whoever won out of Midland and University was going to go through, and whoever won out of Scarborough and Claremont would go through. So Vernon into Bracey, and that is LBW. So a very eventful first couple of balls here, as James Bracey has been dismissed. LBW to Josh Vernon.
Looks like that one shaped in a little bit. Looks like Vernon got his wrist right on that and it's shaped in.
And so what does that make the score, Corey? Because I feel like we've seen 4 or 5 balls and 2 for 3.
2 legal deliveries.
2 for 3 off .2.
Yeah, 3 legal deliveries.
Okay, so walking to the crease now is Will Bazisto, who's been the leading run scorer in WA Prem Cricket up until this round. I'm a little bit blown away by this quick start, Corey. I don't quite know what to say. Very unusual start. So continuing on the discussion. So in this morning's games, University defeated Midland-Guilford, and so have gone through, progressed through to the quarterfinals in a couple of weeks' time. And for the supporters of Scarborough and Claremont Nedlands, I can let you know that Claremont Nedlands had a victory with a couple of balls to spare against Scarborough up at Abbott Park. And so the 2 teams progressing from Pool C through to the quarterfinals are University of WA and Claremont Nedlands in the Colts competition. And so we are now in a position where we're looking at the Premier T20, and this group is set up with the same teams, and Midland-Guilford are almost a certainty to go through, having won their first 2 games, and then there'll be a sort of a competition between the other 3 teams to see who can get through as the second qualifier this afternoon. And just a leave there by Bazisto. So, Corey, what do you think about the idea of full broadcast of Premier Cricket? You've obviously experienced a lot of televised footage yourself, being a fully contracted state player these days.
I think any way to get grade cricket out to the masses is exciting. Yesterday, sitting on the couch at home, I got to watch 80 overs of us playing at Lark Hill, so it's a good opportunity for those who are away from Perth to be able to watch the game, who can't get down. It's obviously really good for talent ID process with state coaches and the likes, and Big Bash franchises always watching the Premier Cricket, so it's an opportunity for those people to watch, and also players to go back and watch footage of opposition players, which I think is actually raising the level of grade cricket with some more ID work happening across the teams.
And here we have Josh Vernon into Will Basisto. And that is cut to point for no run. It's an interesting point because we do it ourselves at University of WA. The live stream product has allowed us to get footage of opposition players long before we actually play them, and that's something up until 5 years ago you had to go to the opposition's ground and watch them play. If you were coming up against that club the week after, you might pop your head in during the course of the afternoon just to do a quick scout, but now you can watch the entire game on Frogbox, and Will Basisto squirts that off the outside edge and 2 runs to a wideish third man position. So how much do you, as a state player, before a Sheffield Shield game, how much opposition footage are you watching?
Something that I've brought into my game a lot this year is watching a lot of footage on the opposition players, and think particularly as a spinner, just understanding what pockets of the ground they're trying to hit, ways I can sort of ways I think I can get them out. It's just a good chance to see players before you play them, and they don't really hold any surprises. Mainly for me, watching if they're reverse sweeping or sweeping, and a lot of batters have tells where you can see what they do when they're about to sweep, and it's helped me a few times this year coming into games and sort of seeing if the player leaves their bat down or pushes their bat wider when they're about to sweep. It's an indication of what they're trying to do, and I'm sort of trying to stay ahead of them.
Well, that's very interesting that you're sort of getting it down to the idea of watching batsmen trigger movements. Do you really have time in your bowling action to amend something as you see a batsman trigger?
Yeah, well, most of the time, batters will do it subconsciously before they're even aware of doing it. So it's a bit like a poker face at times. Like, you can sort of see what they're going to do before they know they're going to do it. Particularly with the sweep shot, everyone sort of has a tell with that they're about to do it, considering most of the time, unless it's swept on line, it's a premeditated shot, so they have to get their bat to a different position, and that includes high level players who do the same thing. Damon's, after that eventful over, Damo Sweet faced his first ball.
Well, Damien Sweet elevated to open the batting today. He's known as a very powerful hitter in the competition in the WACA Premier competition, and I can tell you I was on the end of Damien Sweet lofted drive when I was throwing balls to him on Friday, and my wrist is very sore as a result. So I can confirm he has some genuine hitting power, and he'll certainly be looking to make the most of this power play. So we're 8 balls into this power play. The rules of this competition this year is that the first four overs, you're allowed 2 men out, is that correct?
That's it.
Yep, 2 men out, and then much like the Big Bash this year, there'll be 2 overs of, I guess we call it surge. Is that
power surge?
Power surge.
The commercial term is
commercial term, power surge, and that can be taken after the 10th over, and that's chosen by the batting team.
Correct.
Yep. So there's something going on there. Was there a bit of a discussion?
Let's move to mid-wicket.
Okay, right. And that's an inside edge onto the pad and a quick single. So, what do you think in terms of a good power surge? What are you, as a bowling team, what are you looking to do in your first 4 overs of what we call the surge?
I think the markers around if you can take 2 or 3 wickets in your first 4 overs as a bowling side. I think most stats say that you're almost going to win that game. I think a lot of the teams now in sort of Big Bash cricket combine the two, so it's not just a 4 and what you do in the first 4 and what you do in your surge. It's more around what your total surge, what your total power play numbers are.
Yeah.
I think the more this is a close run out here. Oh,
and
there'll be another one.
Very
Number 2.
close.
Very
It was
close.
a direct hit on the stumps, but Basisto had scampered home, and then they got an overthrow. So, University have certainly come out to challenge the fieldsmen today. So that takes the score on to 2 for 9 off 11, the first 11 balls. Do you have a score in mind that you're looking at in terms of a first 4 overs if you're a batting team?
I think the best teams who use it have the ability to. What was this? Square drives up for 4.
Yeah.
I think the best teams that use the power surge minimise wickets lost, or sorry, the first 4 overs minimise wickets lost, but also can get themselves in sort of a springboard to use the next 6 overs before they're able to take the power surge again. I think if you're always getting above 40 in your first 4, that's really good going. I think because we've lost a couple of early ones here, I think some consolidation is nice and sort of reload back in the 4th over and try and springboard out of the 4th over into the non-power playing overs.
Now, I believe this will be Josh Vernon, who bowled that very eventful first over to bowl his second over, so the 3rd over of the game from the southern end here at James Oval. Which is known as the chemistry end. Do you know that, Corey? You've been studying here for a long time. Do you know that that's the chemistry end? That's the chemistry building?
It's the NBA end of the ground also.
So the southern end is at the southern end is a massive oak tree, and then behind that is the chemistry building. So I've always known that as the chemistry
and
end.
behind that's the business building. Sorry for all the scientists out there.
And from the northern end, behind the northern end is the Reed Library. And that's a lovely clip off the toes by Will Basisto, and that will be 4 runs. Very fast outfield there today, so if once it gets through the field, it's generally racing to the boundary. So you're actually a student here as well, Corey, as well as a professional cricketer for WA.
Yeah, so studying a Master's of Business Admin. I actually finished off a 2-hour exam yesterday morning to finish off the 3rd trimester of school this year, of uni. So I'm 4 units into a 12-unit postgraduate.
And did you pass your exam? You think you're confident?
Yeah, I think I've done a good enough. That's a lovely shot.
And another lovely clip off his toes by Will Basisto.
The short side of the ground. So we're playing on the end wicket at the moment.
It's actually chased down, so that'll be 3 to Will Basisto.
It's a great effort to run 3 to the short side. It'd be only a 60-metre boundary at most on that side. Looks like that rain's either about to hit us or going around us by the look on the radar.
If you look at the radar, it looks like it should be teeming down.
First slip's come out to another mid-wicket.
But it's not, and it doesn't look like it's about to rain, so let's hope that radar is wrong.
The best result would be that it rains a lot at Abbott Park and doesn't rain here, and we get a win.
Yes. So Josh Vernon into Damien Sweet. And that is a lovely pull shot by Damien Sweet. That will be 4.
All of that, but it'll still probably go for 4.
Comfortably going to go for 4. Damo, he's known as Damo, old Damien Sweet, and loves a pull shot, loves a straight drive.
He's allergic to 1s and 2s.
He doesn't like running.
Very happy with 4s and 6s.
He won't have appreciated that 3 or run 3, but Will Basisto.
There's no such thing as well run 3s. It's nice 4s. They've just brought fine leg up and dropped square to a forward square. Dare say this will be back of a length again.
real crack off the bat there, but no run. So tell us a bit about your journey in the summer so far, Corey. You've had a lovely start to the summer, and I think you're currently sitting in the top 3 Shield wicket takers in the country. You've enjoyed your cricket so far this summer?
Yeah, every opportunity that I'm getting at the moment to play cricket for Western Australia is something that I cherish. Had the privilege to play for a year or so now, so I've really enjoyed it, and it's another good opportunity this year. I'm obviously really lucky that I've had the players I've had around me to sort of support me. Our bowling cartel is world class. I'm happy to say that. Joel Paris, Matt Kelly, not around, but he was around last year. Lance Morris, Jai Richardson, Charlie Stobo, Cam Gannon. Can't fit all those into a team, but they're exceptionally good quality to be around, and bowling down the other end's been a lot of fun, especially when Lance is bowling thunderbolts at the other end.
You can't fit them all into a team, but right now you might be able to fit them all in the infirmary room. There's a fair few of them injured.
It's part and parcel of bowling fast.
Okay, so that's the end of the 3rd over. Do we have a score there for me, Corey, please?
Yeah, if you want to delay for me, I can find the score. 2 for 25.
2 for 25 off 3 overs.
So we've got one more power, one more surge.
And this looks like it's going to be the left arm spinner. So finish off the power play with the spinner. Now the field set at the moment is you're allowed 2 out, and there's a Jordan Mast at deep mid wicket. I think he's got his hand up asking whether he should stay out. No, he's been told to come in just a couple off the boundary. And then it looks like Josh Vernon at deep mid on. So the 2 men out are on the leg side. Given this field, and you're a left arm spinner coming around the wicket, Corey, where are you targeting?
Got to keep the stumps in play. I dare say Wilbers is going to try and sweep this. Oh, done the complete opposite.
Straight drive for no run. Spin in the power play, you're a fan?
Yeah, spin in the 4th over is always interesting depending on how it goes, but spin's a wicket-taking option in all formats. So yeah, especially left arm off spin to right-hand batters, and it looks like he's getting some nice drop. So it's a wicket-taking option, definitely. I'm always a big fan of bowling spin all the time, as your text messages usually have in them on Saturday afternoon.
I could confirm. We have a number of spinners at university, and on a Saturday afternoon, if we haven't bowled spin by about the 30th over, the phone starts to ping. And it's a series of text messages from one of our 6 spinners going, "Stibbsy, when are we bowling spin?"
And I'll stand by the fact that we need to bowl as much spin as possible.
And of course, one of your spin fleet took 5 wickets down at Rockingham for the university yesterday. Jay Chisholm, lovely spell into the wind after tea yesterday, and cleaned up five wickets after tea.
My favourite part about that was watching him cramp in his 30th over. I think he's hasn't had to bowl much more than 28 overs before, so 35 for the big fella definitely got him at the end of play.
And into Damon Sweet, who tries to hit that over mid-off, only catches the outside edge, and it just goes wide of cover for 1 run.
1 ball left in this over, so you just want to...
It's been a good over this one.
We can get out of this power play. 2 wickets down, and...
this is Liam Travaskis. I think he's their overseas pro for this year. So he'd be well versed in this form of the game. So we finished the power play with University 4 overs, 2 for 27. Will Bazisto on 16 and Damien Sweet on 7. Well, Midland-Guilford obviously struck the first couple of blows there in that first over. But I think the university batsmen would be relatively happy to get out of that power play with only 2 wickets down and 27 on the runs on the board after losing those first couple of wickets. Now, today is not only a full broadcast day, it's also the past players' day for University Cricket Club. So as I'm sitting here, and we're on the balcony of the very picturesque James Oval Clubhouse, to the left of us, if you hear a bit of raucous laughter, is a number of our alumni from many years past.
We should just pass the parcel to them and get on commentary. Sure, it'll get loose, but it'll be interesting.
There'd be some very tall tales and anecdotes if you handed that commentary around. And that is a cut shot to point by Damien Sweet, but for no run. So how would you describe this bowler? I would describe him as off speed. Is that how you would describe it?
Yeah, and he's got me out a few times in grey cricket. He's got 6 or 7 different slow balls, so he's taken a lot of grey wickets using that. As you can see, that's dropped, but he's split the gap beautifully.
Okay, and that is exactly the shot that hit me on Friday. So I know how much power is on that shot, I can tell you. Just about shattered my wrist when that one hit me. So that's a nice boundary to Damien Sweet. Look, that's his primary hitting zone when he's trying to hit boundaries. He likes to hit he often will target the side screen with his power shot. So that has now seen Midland put both a deep mid on and a deep mid off back as Briholt comes into Sweet. And hang on, run out on. Oh, he was stone cold there. If the fielder had hit, not sure who the fielder was. Do you know who that was?
Not sure, but it looks like Godfrey.
And it didn't miss by much, I don't think. So Briholt into Sweet, who laces the ball. Oh my goodness. I hope you've seen that at home, because that is a wonderful catch.
Keaton
Critchell, we were talking about him as being a player who's really hitting his peak at the moment, and there's not too many people in the competition who would have held that catch. That was full length dive to his left, so his non-predominant hand.
Very nice celebration too to boot.
And has picked it up just shy of the ground. So a very, very good catch right at a nice time for his team. So Damien Sweet is out for, I'm going to say that's about 11 runs. And coming to the crease now is Charlie Stobo, one of your WA teammates.
Excited to see Charlie bat here. He's had a nice year with the bat in Shield cricket and sort of really elevated his skills. So he's been sick for the last couple of days, but he's got himself off his deathbed to get out and play with the boys.
Yeah, he's had about a flu post the Shield game in Sydney. But he told me this morning he was ready to go.
I think Charlie's just eager to play cricket at the moment, so it's great to see him.
He rang me up and he said, "Nah, Stibbsy, I'm right to go, don't worry." So I'm not worrying, because he's told me not to worry.
Looks like Keaton Critchell's cut his elbow open with that catch.
He's shed some skin in the process of that catch, but I tell you what, he'll be very pleased that we're doing the full broadcast today, because I reckon that footage, cameraman's given me the nod and he said, yes, we've got that one. So that'll be in your highlight reels during the week. That wonderful catch by Keaton Critchell. And Briholt into Charlie Stobo. And no run. Still no rain. Still no look of rain. If you look at the radar, it's meant to be directly above us.
Doesn't rain in the Golden Triangle, I don't think. Bit of atmospheric pressure pushes it away.
Yeah. So you've seen a lot of Charlie batting this year, Corey. What's his scoring zones?
He's very good down the ground. I've seen him play some exceptional cover drives recently, especially through mid off. Loves the pull shot. Bit of an addiction of his, but I guess he's enjoying playing it. So it's going to be pulls and drives, I reckon.
Pulls and drives. I think he wore a couple in Sydney too, didn't he?
Yeah, a couple of helmet changes. He's not going to be happy that I brought that up.
Well, I was watching on the the Cricket Australia website, and I certainly saw one of them. It was like Liam Hatcher had clipped his grill.
Hatch got him both times.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. So this looks like another bowling change. So Midland ringing the bowling changes.
Jordan Mast coming into bowl.
Jordan Mast. So this will be the fifth bowler used by Midland in what is now the 6th over. So whenever we do these broadcasts, Corey, we get a lot of viewers internationally, and we actually have quite a following in the UK. So if you're watching in the UK and you have me as on your Rolodex, feel free to check in with us and let us know that you're watching from afar. That was a single to Basisto down to third man. Brings Charlie Stobo on strike to Jordan Mast in the sixth over. 3 for 32 at the moment. So we're keeping one eye. If you're a fan of University and you are like myself and Corey and keen to see if we can qualify for the finals today, you'll be keeping one eye on the Scarborough-Claremont game, and I think for today we are Scarborough fans. Is that correct, Corey?
Putting money on flip, mate.
Well, I know that Josh Phillippe's playing and AJ Ty is playing in that game.
Cooper Connolly as well.
So that's a bit of a... And I think I saw Liam Haskett playing for Claremont today. We don't seem to have a score through from that game just yet. But the situation being that if Scarborough win, that will leave them on 1 win for this group. It will leave Claremont on 1 win for this group. And
this will be close. Oh, no.
If University were to win today, then that would mean that University, the two teams here, would go through in the group. So there's a fair few permutations still left to play in this group, which is Pool C of the four groups, A, B, C, D. Actually, I'm just noticing a few more sprinkles arriving here, Corey.
I'm getting a weather report from Hocking.
Hocking?
And apparently it's raining, and Scarborough and Claremont are currently rained off. That's why they're not on.
Okay, right. Well, that would be why we're not getting a score. So how far north is Hocking? Forgive my ignorance of the northern suburbs. You're a northern suburbs man.
It's going to answer me too far, but I'm not also be listening to this coverage. No, it's 35 minutes from James Oval North.
Is that your contact in Hocking, your mum?
Yeah, my dad.
Oh, your dad. Okay. Well, hi to Corey's mum and dad if they're watching the live stream today.
Dad's sending me the radar every 3 seconds, so... It looks like it's coming down now.
Yeah.
How many overs do we need for it to be a game? 5?
You need to have 5 per side. So if it gets down to loss of minutes or time, then we have now a legitimate game from the point of view of the first team batting. So you can, if you sort of get down to 25 minutes left and you haven't, and if the game was to cease now and then let's say they were off for an hour and then you came back and there was sort of another hour left, you'd play a few more overs of the University innings and then you'd probably try and get about 6 or 7 of the Midland.
Good thing with the radar, it looks like it's one big bout of rain and hopefully it moves on.
Whipped off his legs by Charlie Stobo.
So anyone got the Excel spreadsheet for the...
I had it out this morning and I had out the Duckworth Lewis because it goes to Duckworth Lewis if you are rain affected. I suspect that's why Midland won the toss and bowled today. It's always advantageous if you are batting second in a Duckworth-Lewis situation. Oh, a lovely late cut by Will Resisto. That's going to challenge the boundary. Oh, excellent piece of fielding. Who is that? Who's fielded that ball? Oh, Liam Travaskis, the left-arm off-spinner, made a beautiful diving save on the boundary there. Saved, well, I think they've run 3, so he saved 1 run there because that was racing to the boundary. So you can just, I'm not sure if you were hearing it in the effects, but you can just hear the pitter-patter of rain on the James Oval tin roof. And just whipped off just square there by Charlie Stobo for a single. It doesn't look like it's going to be heavy. It looks like it's just pitter-patter at the moment. Any more reports from up north? Corey?
No report. Still the same. Still raining.
Still raining. I can confirm it's raining.
The gods might give us some luck and we stay on.
And a single to Will Resisto. So that completes the 7th over. And University are 3 for... Put my glasses on.
3 for 41.
3 for 41. After 7. So, in your cricketer's mind, Corey, do you know, it's always a question people ask me when we're mid-game, and cricket is such a game that swings one way or another, but people always ask you, who's winning? Who's winning right now, Corey?
It's dead even at the moment.
Dead even? Well, I think University will be looking for a partnership here. I think that's key to establishing a total. You know, they'd be looking for 130 plus. I think this partnership and maybe the next one will decide whether that's a feasible total.
Yeah, I think if we can get this into the power surge, so you can hold off to the 10th over and play the power surge. They've obviously bowled Braden Breer a couple overs now, so if we was to bowl one more, we could call the surge and get him done early. He seems like their key wicket taking option with his off pace balls. The other thing that's when it starts raining, it's obviously really hard to bowl off spin. It's like bowling with a wet bar of soap, so obviously it's a hard skill to master.
What obviously at that point, once the ball starts to get a bit wet, does it reduce your revolutions that you can get on the...
essentially can't grip the ball.
Yeah, right.
It's a hard skill to bowl at the best of times. When it's wet, it's even harder. Usually trying to avoid bowling, give it back to the captain.
So jump for the seamers?
Yeah, it's not my
wet
job.
ball, jump for the seamers. Oh, that's LBW to Will Resisto.
Looks like it was his quicker ball. His arm ball.
And that means the score moves to 4 for 43.
Just as we put the mockers on them.
7.3 overs, 4 for 43. Resisto LBW to, that looks like Liam Travaskis has picked up that wicket. And replacing Resisto at the crease is Viv Paver. So the challenges, Corey, of being a full-time athlete, a student at University of WA doing your MBA, I would suggest that you are somewhat time poor. Is that right?
Not really. I think it would be an excuse to say if I was time poor. I had the struggles early doors when I was 18 to study, train and also work, and I found that a lot harder than doing 1 unit a trimester. It's essentially just a little bit less time scrolling on my phone or watching Netflix and giving myself probably 6 hours a week to do my studies. Being on a plane
It's the time that I enjoy studying the most. You're
On a plane?
stuck for 5 hours sitting down doing nothing. So
Really? You bring the books out on the plane?
Bring the iPad out with the books and get as much study as I can done.
Put on the
a couple of weeks.
You put on the noise cancelling headphones. What do you do?
I usually put a bit of music on, get in my study bubble, and I don't like sitting still. So the fact I'm on a plane stops me from moving around. The rain starts to hit a little bit heavier.
Well, there's definitely some drops hitting the table here where we're sitting, so that is definitely a little bit harder than it's been. So Travascus into Paver, who whips it off his feet. Looks like he'll take a second run there.
Speed changes.
And Charlie Stobo will get home
going
comfortably.
fast and slow through his overs, and he's got through that one beautifully.
So 8 overs gone. University 4 for 45. And if University are going to impact this game, I would say this is now the pivotal partnership of the innings. I think a loss of another wicket here starts to sort of put you into all-rounder territory, and although Ethan Frankel is batting very well this year, I think University will be hoping to make sure that this is the partnership that builds the most of the total from here.
Looks like Skinner's back on. Is it Skinner?
Let's have a look at the scorecard. Yes, Benjamin Skinner. Into Charlie Stobo, who
Lovely shot.
pull shot, lovely pull shot, 4 runs.
He does enjoy hit pull shots. So actually, both these two out there enjoy it. So it's bread and butter to Charles.
So one of the stats I see, I keep my own stats when University is playing, and one of the stats.
Surprised.
One of the stats I find particularly interesting that has a very strong indication on the results. Well, there's 2 stats really. The number of dot balls, or if you not sort of in cricketing world, the number of balls that are not scored off, and then the other stat that's always very interesting is who's hit the most boundaries. And I find those 2 stats together, you can give you a very strong indication of who's going to win the game. I know that you've in your Big Bash times have been very aware of the stats that get presented. How many dot balls are you looking to to have in an innings in 20 overs if you think you've played well?
I don't have a number, but I remember Surrey a couple of years ago in their blast campaign aimed for 0 dot balls between overs 10 and 20. Effectively just trying to get 1s and 2s in their batting innings, and then doing the opposite to when they were bowling, is try and create those dot balls. That's why you see when there's a new batter, you try and squeeze as much as you can to be able to try and soak up a few dot balls early. I think the other thing as well is how often you can hit 2s and 3s. If you hit 6 2s in an over, you're still getting 12. And I think that's a big over as a batting side, and if you're doing it with as little and as low risk as possible.
I don't think, knowing Viv though, I don't think he's interested in running 6 2s in an over, to be honest.
I know he's gotten fitter, but I don't think he's got any interest.
Much prefer. I remember talking to him about that once. He said, "Stivsy, I just much prefer hitting boundaries."
Little field change here. Third man's come up to Charlie in deep. Mid-wicket's gone back.
So, a good first sort of 9 overs here by Midland. They've picked up 4 wickets. They've kept the number of boundaries down.
The good thing here is Charlie's not soaked up as many dot balls. He's tried to rotate the strike.
So through 9 overs, 4 for 54.
Jordan Mars coming back into the attack.
And if I trust my maths, and I think I do, that would mean that the scoring rate is 6 and over at the moment, Corey.
I'll trust it.
Now, have we got any play up at Scarborough today?
Still looks like the rains.
Still no scores, so I think they're still under covers up at Abbott Park. And this looks like Jordan Mast continuing to Charlie Stobo, who punches it down the ground for one. I think the temperature's dropped a little bit as this light shower has come through.
Certainly got a lot darker at the Reed Library. The players are taking their sunglasses off.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I think J. Mars and V. Paver used to be housemates, so it's an interesting battle.
Yes, that's correct. They're good friends, Jordan and Viv.
This would be the down breeze end with a slight northerly.
And that will be a wide by Jordan Mast. It's rather unusual weather this week, actually. The wind is not normally from this direction at this time of day. So normally we would have the doctor would be in and we'd have a westerly here. But this is very much well, I'm going to call it a northerly wind. But the northerly wind usually brings the heat, not the rain, Corey.
Must be a summer storm brewing, looks like.
And lovely stroke by Charlie Stobo up to deep mid-off. This still just a light pitter-patter of rain. It hasn't stopped, but it hasn't been heavy.
I think the longer we can stay out here, the better. It's obviously important we don't lose too many wickets for the Duckworth-Lewis equation. Whoever decides that.
Oh, that's a lovely square drive by Viv Paver.
Two.
Oh, nice, a good piece of fielding in the outfield. He scooped it up to his mate.
She really enjoyed Midland's fielding, especially their off-the-ball running as well. You can see the players from on the other side of the ground running up and trying to make sure there's no overthrows. They're all 10 off the boundary as well, so it's a well-versed fielding outfit.
And Master Paver. And single. And this broadcast is being brought to you by the Chatfield Group, who are one of WA's leading mortgage brokers. If you're in the market for a mortgage in this current real estate market, you can go and see James Chatfield, or you can see the man to the left of us, Emil Vandermerwe, who's now joined the team at Chatfield. Good friend of yours there, Corey, now working at Chatfield.
Currently doing my pre-approval as we speak, so I'm a bit annoyed that he's here and not working on it.
Hello, Emil.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, good. So we're going to go to... That is now... Let's have a look at the scorecard here, Corey. Now 10 overs in, 4 for 61. And that looks like Braden Breholt to Viv Paver, who whips it off his legs. And a call of no by Charlie Stobo means there's only a single off it.
It's nice bowling to the short side, protecting it with fielders out.
So as we sit here, and you will have a camera angle sort of with a red roof building in the background. Looks like we are playing on the furthest pitch of the 6 pitches at James Oval today. So when you say the short side is to the eastern boundary.
Swan River end.
Yep.
Swan River side.
Well, Matilda Bay. We'll call that Matilda Bay.
It's a lovely shot.
How well versed in the history of Matilda Bay are you, Corey?
Besides it being a good cycling route, not at all.
Do you know that seaplanes used to use Matilda Bay as an airstrip? Are you aware of that?
No.
Well, now you are.
Because it's pretty wind protected.
Oh.
That has been chipped up and will land beautifully safe.
It's very picturesque campus UWA. If you're watching from overseas and you have any interest in studying abroad, you couldn't come to too many more picturesque campuses.
I think the interesting thing here is that this is Briot's third over. If we would recall a surge now, the end of this over, or we'd see him having a bowl either the next one or someone else having a bowl that surge over, which I think probably should be taken in the next couple overs.
My guess is that they're going to use Travascus in the surge.
Yep.
And potentially Breholt, and I think they'll do that because they won't pace off the ball.
Yep.
Now, has this been the surge called? How many players have we got out?
No surge called.
No surge called. So 4 for 66 off 11 overs. And we're awaiting the 2-over surge, which has not been called this over. So this is Jordan Mast continuing to Viv Paver.
It's a lovely shot.
A real crack off the bat from Viv Paver there. Oh, a nice little slow ball there from Mast, and Charlie Stobo could only work it back to Mast, who picked it up. So a good little partnership developing here, Corey. 4 for 67. About 25 runs this partnership so far.
Ooh,
That one has kept low.
Interested to see if Charlie brings out his ramp here. Played it in a couple of ODIs. It was one day, at the start of the season. Played even a reverse ramp, so he's got it in his arsenal of tools. It's a lovely shot.
Cool shot.
Straight to
Oh, but an incredible catch on the boundary by Liam Travascus. My goodness, they are catching well today.
I don't think he could have hit that better, to be honest. Charlie Stobo goes for
15
15
runs.
off 19, and Ethan Frankel is coming in.
Court Mast. Well, you said that the Midland team was fielding well and that they were very well drilled.
The one good thing there is he was 20 metres off the boundary, the long side as well, so he gave himself a chance to catch it.
And lovely pair of hands. It didn't look like it was going to carry, but in the end he caught it about a foot off the ground and clean as a whistle. So very nice catch by Travascus in the outfield. So 5 for 67 coming up to the end of the 12th over. I would say that this is probably advantage Midland at this point in time, Corey.
Yep, I think that's probably pushed the power surge back a couple of overs as well. So they've done really well there. They've obviously got 2 more overs of Vernon.
Great to see lots of people around the ground.
It is a big crowd today, isn't it, for a Premier T20 game? Lots of old favourites. Certainly a number of players that I played with. I can see Rob Kelly standing over there on the sidelines and Nick O'Hara.
Do we have long enough to hear about your uni cricket days?
Well, half of them were spent with a knee injury. So and I see Christian Bauer over there and Stephen Beckwith, Tony Fairweather, John Townsend, Peter Green. So a lot of university club legends.
Greeny's currently chewing off Mitch Rosh's ear about additions to the club rooms.
Yes. And
talk about stealing dot balls. They've stole 2 balls there at the end of the over.
And that's the key to continuing to take wickets, right, is that it just slows the scoring rate, means you have to re-establish a partnership and you get out of an over. Well, that 12th over has gone for 1 run, so, you know, at a pivotal point of the game, you've had an over where you've taken 1 for 1. So that over has sort of stopped a partnership in its tracks and stopped the innings in its tracks. So
back for his last.
So they're using out Breholt. So in a T20, you're obviously allowed a maximum of 4 overs per bowler. So this will be Breholt's last over of his spell. 3 overs, 1 for 16 at the moment from Breholt. So a good spell by him.
Nice batting from Viv.
And Viv Paver.
Once again, great fielding from the Midland team.
He was looking for 2 there, but the fielder on the boundary was onto it and shut it down to 1. So Ethan Frankel on strike. So tell us a bit about Ethan Frankel, Corey. You've known him for a while now.
Incredibly talented cricketer. First time I met him was coaching him at Scotch in Year 12. He's got an incredible hand-eye coordination. He does a lot of things easily. He's got pace and elegance, everything I don't have, which most of the time I'm jealous of. Yeah, I think he's a really exciting prospect. I think he's starting to grow into his batting and his bowling, and he's earned his place here. I think his record in the 2s is incredible in terms of batting. I think he might average almost 65, 70. So every time he went down there, he played well. So he's earned his spot and starting to perform.
Now you coached him at Scotch, and he was I think as you said, I think he was in the final year, the year you were involved in skills coaching of that team. What did you see in him that made you think he would be a good cricketer? It's always an interesting thing, talent ID. What do you see that makes you
chip one
straight
to Keaton Critchell?
Okay, so
we've got to stop talking up players, because as soon as we start talking them up, they get out.
6 for 68. And I think a leading edge by Ethan Frankel. As the rain does start to get a little bit heavier here. And walking to the crease now is the university second grade captain, Bernard Grayling, who is a regular in the Premier T20 side.
The best fielders in the club.
Certainly a superb fielder, and Bernard's real strength is his ability to rotate the strike and run very hard between the wickets.
Just need someone to stay with the Viv here.
Well, there has been wickets at regular intervals right from the first ball here today.
Rain's starting to come down heavier. I think we're getting whatever was in the north.
Yes, it does look like the perils of the north have arrived. Although I will say that the rain band has thinned somewhat on the radar.
Yep, it's started to a little bit smaller. I'm going to pass the commentary mic to the docile tunes of our president, Mitch Rosher.
All right.
Thanks, Corey.
Our first commentary change for the day. So thanks, Corey, for your efforts today. And Breholt to Bernard Grayling, who has taken a single, and a little bit of chaos at the bowler's end, but no damage. So joining me in the commentary now is the University Cricket Club President, Mitch Rosher.
Thanks, Stibber. How are you?
Well, I've been better.
Me too.
When my team was not 6 for 68, I was a bit better. But also what's concerning me is it does look like this rain is getting very, very heavy now. And certainly the radar is suggesting that we're in for a period of heavier rain at this point in time. So I don't think we're far away from the umpires saying that we would like the covers on, but we're soldiering on in the meantime. So Mitch, we've had many discussions over the last few years about this day and the full broadcast. What do you make of the full broadcast of a Premier T20 game?
I think it's great. I think what we've seen over the last few years with New South Wales Premier Cricket and Queensland Premier Cricket is what can happen from a technology perspective with games being on KO, and it requires a bit of brain power and a bit of hard work in the off season, but what we're showing is it can be done in WA, and we're the first club to have done it last year through Chatfield Group support, and we're here again today. Obviously the weather's not great, but hopefully other clubs start to do the same thing, and then there'll be some games on KO, and who knows what will happen.
Well, I just think, we see it all the time, week to week. The level of cricket and the standard of cricket player at club level in Western Australia is extremely high. And I just love that these players at this level are getting an opportunity to showcase their talents in a forum that allows people to see the full expanse of the game. And I think that can only be good for WA cricket. So
absolutely. I think there's tangibles with when, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, every club got to play at the WACA in a fixture. It's
yes.
Very similar. Not many players get to play at the WACA, and not many players get to play being live streamed as well. So it's only good for the game.
So we're moving into the 14th over here, being bowled by Benjamin Skinner, who's swapped ends from the first couple overs he bowled. 6 for 73 in the 14th over. What do you think the key is from here, Mitch?
I just hope the umpires don't bring us off, Stibber. I think if they bring us off, then I think it's going to be a long day waiting.
I think there is a discussion going on. There's certainly some hand signals between the umpires at the moment. I think the umpire at Square Leg suggested let's have a look at it after the next ball.
I think the key from Uni's perspective with the bat is Bernard Grayling to get off strike and give Paver as much of a strike as possible. We know how good Viv is. Bernie, to be fair, is a very, very good runner, and he's probably been picked as the specialist athlete, so to speak. Very good between the wickets and good outfielder. So I think give Viv the strike as much as possible is key. And
I think they will scamper to there. You won't beat Bernard Grayling home. Oh, and there's hit the stumps, so there'll be a third run there. And it's certainly getting very heavy here now. The problem here, Mitch, as I see it, is once we come off, it's going to be a while before we get back on. So I'm with you. And it just looks like the University batsmen have called the power play in the 14th over. And at the end of the 14th over. So the 15th over will be a power play over faced by Viv Paver. And it looks like it'll be up to the young quick Josh Vernon to bowl that power play. Yes, it looks like this rain is settling in. So the second the players come off, the rule is that you can't go back on until there's been a full cessation of rain. So I think if we come off at this point in time, it's playing cards for an hour.
I think so. I think so.
What would you? You're a player. What would you do in a rain break? In your rain breaks as a player, Mitch?
I think it would depend on what else is going on in my life. As you know, I'm club president, and if I had a lot of presidential tasks to do, I might do some of them. If there's international cricket on, I might watch a bit of international cricket, or maybe even just listen to some music. Not too sure, Stibber.
Well, it's funny because I'm probably going to show my age here, but I was certainly a player before mobile phones really came into mass use, and so it was always play the cards, or you'd find a corner of the change room that you could throw a ball around and play a sort of a tip and run or a one hand one catch game.
I think we're quite lucky in Perth, where there's not many fixtures that are impacted by rain. I think it was last year, wasn't it, in Victorian Premier Cricket, where there was the first 6 rounds that they couldn't really get a full day's of play in due to rain. So we're quite lucky here.
Well, it's interesting. We've got a couple of overseas professionals this year in James Bracey and Nathan Fernandez, who's rookie contracted at Middlesex and playing in our second grade and Colts at the moment. Oh, and that's a wild ball by Josh Vernon, signalled wide, not signalled above the waist, so just a wide. Certainly lost grip there, and I suggest he perhaps lost a bit of footing there too. And the umpires are now getting their heads together. I suspect that's going to precipitate a call about the rain, unfortunately.
Yes, good.
It's just gotten a bit heavier again. Once you start seeing bowlers slipping, I think the umpires are going to be very careful now about letting the bowlers continue.
It's good to see a lot of supporters still here, Stibber, even though it's pretty average weather.
Well, it's the University Past Players Day, and unfortunately the barbecue that we've set up is a few people huddling under the tent. Now they've moved to huddling under the pavilion as well.
Yeah.
But it's great to see the alumni supporting the club. It's it's a club with a rich history. I think we're around about 110 years in existence now. Is that right?
That's it. Yeah. 110 years.
So and you've been president for how long now?
I'm in my 3rd reign this year.
And what is the job description of a president at club cricket?
It's a bit of everything. It's obviously overall, management of the club and ensuring that the club can field teams from week to week and ensure that we have a positive cash flow and ensure that we engage sponsors and have positive relationships with the various stakeholders that come with club cricket. It's a lot of ongoing work with the club members to ensure that they get a positive experience being a part of the club. I think what's interesting is that over the last 10 years there's been such a evolution with various ancillary aspects to Premier Cricket, the clothing, social media, so many more sponsors now. It's really evolving, and I think what that means is, as an administrator, it's getting harder to just keep on top of things. So the more volunteers we have, the better.
And that is a lovely pull shot by Viv Paver. Dropped short there, Josh Vernon, and he was a savage on that ball, pulling him through deep mid-wicket for 4 runs. I'd suggest that the ball is being returned to Keaton Critchell at every opportunity at the moment. He's got a yellow towel with him. It looks like the ball is getting quite slippery now as the rain continues to come down.
Stibby, you've been director of cricket now for over 10 years, and you would have seen many things come in and come out of WA Premier Cricket. What are some of the things that has most surprised you in terms of those initiatives?
And that is a massive hit by Viv Paver.
What a shot.
6 runs. A huge strike by Viv Paver. Well, I think what is interesting to me, Mitch, is I think we've just seen a decade of growth at this level in terms of the things you've spoken about that has been unparalleled up until now. I think the sort of the coverage of Premier Cricket from my playing days, where you'd check the scores in the Sunday Times, that's about how much you knew about what was going on at the other games, as you'd go and make sure you got the late paper in the Sunday Times, because if you didn't, the cricket scores weren't in them. If you got the early version, you'd get the first 6 races and no cricket scores. If you got the late version, you get all 10 races and the cricket scores. So, from that time to where we are now, where a young player coming into the game who's 18 years old will have footage of him making a 50 or taking wickets, put up on social media for everyone to sort of see and consume, to sponsors sort of, I know we've worked very hard at university to sort of utilise sponsors as a source of revenue, and I think that has changed grade cricket for the better. We've got some wonderful sponsors here at University Cricket Club, and that revenue is much needed to sort of run the programs that we run at Premier Cricket now, which is so much more extensive than we once run. The education of a young cricketer now runs 11 months of the year rather than, maybe a season. When I played was probably 5 months, and then you do a couple of months pre-season, so maybe 7-month commitment. Now it's all year round, basically. So I think the level of professionalism... there's a run-out chance at the bowler's end. Has changed dramatically. And I look at grade cricket as almost semi-professional now rather than amateur. So... and I think the workload, unfortunately, for volunteers such as yourself, is the sticking point at the moment. I think you give so many hours to the game. At all clubs, they have volunteers.
Oh no!
And that's Trevescus dismissing Viv Paver.
You talk about the professionalism of Premier Cricket increasing over the last 10 years or so. I mean, University Cricket Clubs has 6 or 7 coaches on our books. And that's a great service to our players and skilled coaches, coaches for specific teams. I think it's really important for new players coming in to see what different things they have available to them. And as you said, it takes a bit of work to make that possible, but it's all part of the game evolving.
So as we speak, the players are off. The rain has officially got too heavy. There was a lot of slipping and sliding in that last over or two. What I'm going to do, Mitch, is if you're watching the coverage, you're about to see me run out and marshal the covers. So I'm going to pass over to Alex.
Is oval. Plays resumed. I've just upset Corey Roccaccioli, but that's fine. No one's too worried about that. He's not playing. We're back here. We have lost 5 overs of play, so Midland have come out to bat with 5 overs off, so 15 overs. The score or the total will remain the same. Midland chasing 94 off 15 overs. We've got Tom Beaton on strike with Travascus down the other end, and Charlie Stobo is going to open up for University. All our listeners will be very happy to hear the dulcet tones of Will Stibbs back. Stibbsy, thoughts?
Hello, Alex. Well, that was quite an interruption.
Absolutely. Stobo in on the hip. Beaton knocking down to deep backward square for 1 there.
Yes, so I think you've let the listeners know what the scenario is.
In a roundabout way, in my very Tasmanian way.
Tasmanian way. So just confirming that we have lost 10 overs out of the match. So University had batted just over 15 overs. Their innings was brought to halt during the rain break, and Midland now will face 15 overs, and the target in that time is 94. So around about 6 and over is required in the chase here. There's a change to the power plays, so the first 3 overs are power play, not the first 4, and then there's only 1 hour, one over of additional surge, which has to be taken somewhere between the 8th and the 15th over. So, slight change of playing conditions as we see the second ball here from Charlie Stobo. Oh my goodness, what a catch!
Magnificent catch from Ethan Frank. Oh my days, what a wonderful catch from Ethan Frankel, diving away to his right there. He has plucked that out of the heavens after a pretty insipid shot from the opening batsman Travascus there.
And cameraman, did we get that? He's shaking his head in agreement.
The cameraman would have been sent to the salt mines if he'd missed that. What a wonderful catch. Ethan Frankel is a young up-and-coming star for uni, and he's a real three-string player. That was it's not often I'm speechless, Stibber, but that was a wonderful catch.
Well, I think he took a great catch this morning in the Colts game, Ethan. But we didn't have the live stream going this morning. The camera's in the repair shop at the moment.
He just had to prove that he could do it to the viewers.
But he will very much enjoy seeing that catch on the highlights package after this game. That was an absolute screamer. I didn't think he was going to get anywhere near it.
I thought that was 4 for all money.
Yeah.
We should know to back Frankie in here. Showtime, they call him. And he's proven that. So I think this is Keaton Critchell out at number 3 for Midland Guilford. Very accomplished grade cricketer.
So that was Liam Travascus dismissed. And Keaton Critchell in facing his first ball.
Stobo finding the outside edge down to Tommy Gosling, third man. Very athletic fielder, Tommy Gos. Moves like a panther, so only one to him.
Tommy Gosling will be absolutely thrilled that you're calling him moves like a panther.
He was very upset last year. One of our former coaches, Perry, mentioned that he didn't bowl quick enough for a certain field, so I thought I'd give him a little pump as Stobo comes in.
So James Bracey has got the gloves for University, and Charlie Stobo from the Reed Library end. And he's bowling currently to Tom Beaton. Tom has been a very good player in the WACA Premier competition for many years now, and always known as a very attacking player. And I'm sure he's going to try and hit some boundaries in this shortened 3-over power play.
obviously tough with the wet ball here to control it as a seam bowler. So extras will be heavily focused on, I would have thought, by our guys trying to hit lines, as they always should be. So in. Inside edge down to Jay Chislett at fine leg. It's a really good opening over from Charlie.
So the run rate required is around about 6 and over on the chase here. I think Midland will be keen to sort of be scoring well above that in these first 3 overs. But a very, very effective first over here by Charlie Stobo. On a quick single to short mid wicket. There for Critchell. I think he got a little inside edge on that one. So that's the first over done. What do we got there, Alex? I think that's 4 runs.
Yes.
Oh, 5. 1 for 5.
1 for 5 with the wide there, 4 off the bat. And an all-time catch from Ethan Frankel at mid-on. So, at mid-off. So this is Mitchell Drennan from the other end. Fans may be interested to know that there's a big chance Mitchell will miss some of the cricket going away and modelling in Milan and Paris. So,
actually, speaking of Paris, I've been informed that we have a viewer in France today. So hello to Peter Chislett's brother, Tom, who's watching in France, and that's Jay Chislett's uncle. So I think it's Tom. I think that's what they told me. So hello to our university fans in France, and welcome to the Chislett clan who are viewing in France.
I'm sure Tom's one of many in Paris there. Hard length from Dreno to start there, which I'm sure everyone's very surprised about. Dreno's a wonderful opening or first grade bowler and doesn't miss very often. So straight onto it as per usual. Turning in for his second ball here to Critchell.
Actually, I just checked with Peter, and it's Tony Chislett.
Tony
Chislett. So hi to Tony in Paris. No, he's in a little village somewhere in France, is what I'm told. So, and he's tuned into today's broadcast. So, very happy to have our international viewers along with us today as we watch this rain-affected match here from James Oval. The first one of the year. We've had bright sunshine all year so far, Alex.
It's been a great start to the year weather-wise, and a really good start to this over as well. 3 dot balls. This is the first rain I can remember in a little while.
Well, we got through pre-season without any sort of rain breaks, which is most unusual, and then it's been unseasonably warm up until now here in Western Australia.
I feel sorry for a couple of our second graders, Max Dennehy and Dom Rawlings, coming from Tasmania and opening up into 30+ degree weather.
Now, you're from, for those who don't know you, Alex, you're from Burnie in Tasmania. There'd be a slight difference in the weather from Perth to Burnie, I would have thought.
There's a slight, approximately 25 degree difference there, Will. Not a lot of games being rained off in Perth, as opposed to almost all games being rained off in Burnie. Shout out to the Burnie Hurricanes, who got a good win yesterday, I'm informed, against, I want to say, Latrobe.
Drennan into Critchell, and no run there.
5 dot balls here.
The thing, I holidayed in Tasmania this year, Alex, and the thing that caught me about Burnie is how strong the winds are in Burnie. I just could not believe how strong that coastal wind was. You would have had to bowl a few spells up into that wind?
Almost exclusively into it. And Bernie's home ground, West Park, is situated on a little peninsula, a little point, so it's exposed completely.
And that's a lovely cover drive by Keaton Critchell, and that looks like it's going to hit the boundary. Yes, 4 runs.
Rolled over.
Onto the covers. Don't step on the covers with your spikes, Charlie. It's funny the things you think of as a coach.
Non-stop. There's holes in the cover. Good over from Brennan there. Probably didn't get out of it the way he would have liked. A little bit over pitched, but only 4 off the over. You'll take that every day of the week.
So 2 overs in, and in their chase of the target of 94, Midland-Guilford are 1 for 9. Now, as I spoke of earlier in the day, there is a fixture up the road that is also relevant to Group Pool C. Pool C, which is now actually underway between Claremont, Nedlands and Scarborough. And I believe Scarborough are batting first, and they are currently 2 for 30 off 4.5 overs. So Josh Philippi and Cooper Connolly opening the batting there, and both have been dismissed rather cheaply.
Well, it's tough when there's a bit of rain at Abbott Park. A little bit of a dip.
And that looks like 4 runs to Tommy Beaton, who has lofted Charlie Stobo over not quite deep mid-wicket, between deep mid-wicket and deep mid-on there, I reckon.
Very strange mid-wicket, I would have thought. Yeah, probably just a touch too full from Charlie there. And Beato's pretty good at putting his hands through those ones. So I'm interested to see what the comeback here is.
And similar ball for similar result.
Much the same, little flick over mid-wicket. A little bit too full, a little bit too straight. Tom's cashing in here. Someone who had to bowl at Tom a long time ago in the nets at Mount Lawley, I can confirm that he hits it very hard, very often.
Well, as I said, he's been playing for a good amount of time in the WA Premier competition, and he is known for his ability to strike the ball cleanly. And 3 fours in a row to begin this over. Just what Midland were looking for from this last over the power play.
Three fours all very much in the same spot here, so Charlie's a very experienced cricketer, very good bowler. He's played a number of Shield games and one-day games for Western Australia and for New South Wales. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he comes back after those first 3 there. See if there's a change of field. And we've got Mitchell Drennan going back to the mid-wicket boundary and Jay Chislett coming up from fine leg. And the Panther himself, Tom Gosling, moving back down to third man there. Stobo in.
And slightly shorter length there, pushed him on the back foot.
Little comeback ball beating the outside edge.
So it's definitely dropped a few degrees since that rain came through, Alex.
It's feeling more and more Tasmanian.
Feeling home to this afternoon, eh?
No, not even a little bit. This is a nice summer's day down in Burnie.
No run there.
Much better, much harder length there from Charlie. He's had a pretty good run of it the past couple of years. Will, playing, he obviously moved over a number of years ago from Gordon Cricket Club in Sydney and moved over to try and take up an opportunity to get on a WA list, and has done so pretty successfully.
Yeah, I think what stood out to me the second, and it was apparent from the second he arrived, is his work ethic is just unbelievable. He's the ultimate athlete. Oh, and that's landed just shy of Tom Murray and Tom Gosling, sort of between third man and point, running backwards. So an eventful over, 13 runs off it, and a good comeback there after going for 3 boundaries early. So the power play is now over, and the score is, I'm going to say, 22. 1 for 22. So
Another wicket at Abbott Park there. Former uni batsman Nick Mayolo
yes.
falling over there.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Lockie Hardy's dismissed him.
To former teammate Lockie Hardy as well.
So it looks like we're going to continue with pace here. Ethan Frankel will bowl the next over, who is fresh from pulling off that remarkable catch in the first over.
Hopefully we can see him do something special with the ball coming out of his hand as opposed to going in.
Yeah. Now, whilst we've got a moment to spare, Alex, and we're on the topic of Burnie and Tasmania, when I was on the north coast of Tasmania, scallop pies were a thing. I didn't know about scallop pies, but every bakery seemed to have an award-winning scallop pie. Tell me about the prevalence of scallop pies in the northern Tasmania.
What a topic of conversation. Scallop pies are... every single bakery will tell you that they've got the best scallop pie in Tasmania. They're a wonderful little seafood pie. Did you have one, Will?
I had a curried scallop pie, and I have to say it wasn't my thing.
Yeah, that's because you're a man of no taste, unfortunately. No, very specific to Tassie and using up our wonderful seafood.
So, is it a breakfast pie or is it a lunch pie? What kind of pie is it?
Like lunch and dinner. I wouldn't want to start my day with a scallop pie.
No.
I have done on occasion, but that's a story for another time. Yeah, no, look, it's the...
Is it a well-known Tasmanian hangover cure? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
And that's a quick single by Critchell. Very well fielded by Bernard Grayling. Run out chance. If he'd hit it, it would have been interesting. Probably safe, but would have been interesting.
Bernie Grayling's a really good study of cricket. He's captained our second 11 team on Saturdays for a fair while now, and he's putting together a really nice season and a bit of reward for effort coming up into the Premier T20 team. Very well deserved. Hits the ball well and is absolutely magnificent in the field. So,
gee, you've talked him up there,
mate. I'm hoping to play a little bit of second grade after Christmas, so I've got to look after him a little bit.
Well, it sounds like we've got some raucous supporters at the far end of the pavilion. And that's a short ball cut by Tommy Beaton straight to point. And Grayling right in the thick of the action at the moment at point.
Straight to my man there, Phil.
Yes, no, there's definitely some strong supporting coming from the end of the pavilion.
Agricultural down the end there, Will. I think I wouldn't be surprised to hear that was Dom Rawlings carrying on like the Tasmanian that he is.
So today's broadcast is being brought to you courtesy of the Chatfield Group, one of Perth's leading mortgage brokers and a long-time sponsor of University Cricket Club. And we thank them for their continual support of our live streaming product and our full broadcast today to you out there in the real world of Premier Cricket. So I see James Chatfield just arriving at the ground, so I'm getting his mention in whilst he walks to the ground. And that is a single to deep cover. Mitch Drennan in off the boundary there, but a good over by Frankel. I think that's gone for 4 or 5. So 1 for 26 off 4 overs now, so 4 runs off that over.
About to see some spin for the first time here, Will. We've got Jay Chislett coming on from the library end, fresh off a very impressive 5 for off about 250 overs yesterday down in Rockingham. Jay obviously WA Premier Cricket Team of the Year member from last season, and a real leader of our bowling group.
Well, the field can be spread a little bit now, so it looks like there's a deep mid off, a deep mid on, deep square leg, and a deep cover. So just protecting a broad spectrum of the field at this point in time.
Hopefully it's dried out a little bit. I'm assuming the ball's still a little bit damp, but I wouldn't want to try and bowl. Well, I wouldn't want to try and bowl leg spin at the best of times, but leg spin with a wet ball is always a tough one.
Actually, it is a very quick drying oval, James Oval, and with that rain that came through, when I was just before the play restarted and I was looking at the pitch and the ground, it actually wasn't that wet. So I don't think the ball will be that slippery because the ground had sort of absorbed the water pretty quickly. And Chislett into his first ball for Critchell, who's down the wicket, throwing the kitchen sink at it, and just
chunking it down to
chunking is a good description.
Chunking it down to Charlie Stobo along the end. Absolutely, the ground's magnificent. Well, it's such a good place to be able to come and coach and play, and facilities are wonderful, and we've got to be very grateful for the university and their continued support of us and the wonderful facilities that we've got here.
Oh, absolutely. We get great support from UWA Sports and the sort of sporting wing. That's up in the air. Murray under it, and he's caught him at deep mid off, and that is the end of Tom Beaton. So Jay Chislett, 5 wickets yesterday and got his first wicket for today already.
Former teammate Tom Beaton too, so Jay will be very happy about that. Spent some time at Mount Lawley together. Really well bowled there, gave it a little bit of air, up outside off, and Tom playing a little bit of an unorthodox shot, didn't quite get it, and very exciting innings comes to a close. Beaten out for 17 off 14 balls.
So the score is 2 for 27 of 4.2 overs. Delicately poised, I'd say, at this point in time, Alex.
It is pretty even. Midland-Guilford potentially in the ascendancy a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see what happens as we have James Godfrey come out to bat, former captain of Midland-Guilford.
Two very experienced players at the crease now, Godfrey and Critchell.
Absolutely. James playing quite a bit of first-grade cricket for Willerton before making the move.
They do have a lot of experience in their batting lineup, Midland. It's one thing that is their real strength this year, is they have a lot of games in their top 6, and I don't think this kind of situation will intimidate any sort of the players in their lineup. So, it's still very much a game that is on Midland's back if they bat well. Just walking past the commentary table is club legend John Inverarity. So lots of famous faces down here at James Oval this afternoon, Alex.
I think he played a little bit of cricket, didn't he, John?
Yes. That's a lovely strike by Keaton Critchell. He's got him just between deep mid on and deep mid wicket for 4 runs. He was targeting that gap and he got it centimetre perfect, as Dennis Committee would say.
Absolutely. Reaching and sweeping against the spin, and he's played a really good shot there. This is a good little battle between Jay and Keaton.
And a reverse sweep, and no contact on that attempted reverse sweep. So he's eyeing off that gap. There's quite a gap between sort of the keeper and what would be a squarish gully.
Yes.
Is that the best way to describe it? And so he was
Very backward square.
trying to reverse sweep into that gap, but didn't get anything of it. And there's just a single to that position that we're just talking about. So, 5 overs in, and 2 for 33. They needed 6 and over, and they are getting 6 and over. So, I think University will be keen for a couple of wickets here. See if they can put the cat amongst the pigeons, because at the moment the scoring rate is what the Midland side need, with plenty of wickets still in the shed.
Just a change in bowling here. Tommy Gosling coming into bowl. Tom's played quite a bit of first grade cricket for us after transitioning over from Midland-Guilford about 3 years ago, and obviously along with his exploits in the field, he's a very, very consistent and reliable seam bowler. Wouldn't say express pace, but doesn't miss his spot.
He's the diesel engine, is what Tom Gosling is.
The coal train, absolutely.
Fire him up, and he'll bowl all day for you. In that exact spot. He can hit that spot all day. Critchell's looking very composed here today. He's known as one of the leading batsmen in the competition at the moment, and he's looking very, very composed here as he faces Tom Gosling.
Absolutely, he's played a lot of first grade cricket, I should say, and I don't think the situation will get to him too much. Very knowledgeable batsman by all accounts.
Well, when we looked at that rain band coming this morning, Alex, I was nervous that we wouldn't get a result today, but I think that rain band came and went, and we've lost 10 overs, but it looks like we're going to get a game in. And as I say that, how would you describe that shot from Keegan Critchell?
Inventive. It's a little bit of a kneeling ramp over his shoulder down to fine leg for 4 off Tommy Gosling. Using the pace on the ball, it's high risk, high reward cricket there.
A kneeling ramp. If you'd have tried that, even up to about 10 years ago, players would have said, what on earth are you doing? And now we just look, don't even blink an eyelid as he plays a kneeling ramp.
If I tried that at any point with him, I'd be missing some teeth, so fair play.
And down the wicket,
Spinning
looks like
one
they're
off
going to
the
go for
outside
2
edge.
runs. No, not on Stobo's arm, which is known to be a bit of a cannon.
It's one of those things that makes Charlie such a valuable cricketer. He's not just a really good bowler and a very solid middle-order batsman. His fielding is absolutely exemplary.
He's a bit of a running joke around university that he's just good at life, isn't he?
He's about to graduate as a lawyer. He's tall. His moustache is luxurious. He's good at cricket. He's got his life together. It's disappointing.
You don't want to mark yourself against Charlie Stowe.
You just lose. He's had a shy at the stumps there. Nothing eventuates, but something always happens when Charlie's involved.
Right, so just refreshing the scores for those who are following the other group in Pool C today. Scarborough batting, and they're currently 5 for 63 after 8.5 overs. So a lot of the big names have been dismissed up there. Philippi, looks like they sent in Andrew Tye to pinch hit too. So currently at the crease, Matt Spores and Johnny Bushnell. So if Scarborough win that game, then it really does come down to whether University can win this game or not. If Claremont win that game, it probably means that Midland and Claremont will go through. I think that's the scenario we've worked out during the week.
Take your word for it, Steve.
You've not done the maths? Oh, well, I've done the
No,
maths.
I'm just getting around you getting a win. That's my primary focus.
I certainly did the maths during the week.
No.
And as I raced here at 5 a.m. this morning, worried about whether or not the covers were on properly.
No.
When that rain hit, I thought, well, doing this to see if we can get a win for University today and get them into the finals. And rather fortuitously, the Colts got through this morning, and now we're waiting to see if the Premier T20 side can get through as well.
Very comprehensive win this morning by the looks. I didn't make it down, unfortunately, but very comprehensive win for our Colts against Midland-Guilford this morning. Hopefully going back-to-back after winning the Colts Premiership last year. We've had some big losses from that team, losing Benedict Geddes from Surrey and Jake Egan, who's going over to have a wonderful season with Randwick Petersham, as Jay Chislett is lofted by James Godfrey over the long on boundary for 6.
A lovely strike there. He got every bit of that.
That was textbook, I would have thought.
So it's around about 110 metres to hit the library on the full, the Reed Library on the full, and I reckon that's landed about 15-20 metres short of that. I reckon that's a good solid 90 metre hit downwind. So he's got a good piece of that.
Just defending outside off. Yeah, so our Colts obviously losing a couple of really good cricketers, but we've picked up a few good names, and we've had some guys develop. We've picked up a young fella, Nathan Fernandez from Middlesex Cricket Club, who's played a little bit of T20 stuff in the Vitality Blast. Come over for a short period. Who played a pretty handy role this morning, I think.
Yeah, he did. He batted very well. He scored well above and run a ball, and guided University home quite comfortably. And down the wicket, and is that going to clear the boundary as well? Yes, downwind. Yeah, that's definitely a bit downwind at this point in time. And
really good shot there from Keaton Critchell this time.
I don't think he got everything of it, but he certainly got enough that once it was up in the breeze, it was carrying.
Speaking of our young Colts, we've got a member of that Colts team hanging around with us here, Toby Evans. How are you going, Toby?
Yeah, pretty good. Just happy to be watching some cricket at James Oval, the beautiful James Oval, as we've been calling it all day. The boys are looking like they just need to get up and about here, and Jay's bowling well, giving themselves a chance here. But yeah.
So Toby, you were in the back room post your game today studying for an exam. So what exam are you studying for?
So I'm studying for my second week of physiotherapy exams, learning how to hopefully fix fast bowlers one day and help this club with a few more fast bowlers in the future. Should be good.
And is this your last exam that you've got?
No, Stibber, I've got 5.
5 exams.
So people tell you university's easy and you just get to have lots of fun and hang out with your mates, but no one told me I'd be doing 5 exams in the second week. So
right, okay.
good.
Well, the joys of being a university coach, as Alex has just found out for the first time, is that come round 4 and 5, half your playing list disappears and the other half is stressed out of their minds. Which one are you in at the moment, Toby? Both.
I would say I disappeared on Saturday, then played today, and then also stressed out of my mind. But cricket's a good way to get unstressed, and you know what? Hanging out with your mates is the only way to really have fun. So I guess being down here and getting a little study in between is always good. And
so you're
some good cricket.
As we watch Frankel bowl to Critchell. As we say around here, Toby, every player that walks in the door has a story. What is your background? Where did you go to school and how did you end up at University Cricket Club?
So I've grown up in Perth my whole life. My mum's from England and my dad's from Perth, from Kojonup.
Yep.
Grew up in Kojonup, which is 3 hours south of Perth. And he went to Aquinas, boarded at Aquinas and went to Aquinas, and then played cricket there. First won the Darlow, which is the cup for the PSA, which is school cricket here. And then I have 3 older brothers, and then I went to Scotch and played cricket pretty much from the age of about 5, in a very competitive household, that is. And then luckily was tall, and became a fast bowler. And I don't know, Alex doesn't call me fast anymore, but
I think he wants a few extra
Absolutely
kilometres
getting
out of you.
yeah. And then...
And so how did you end up? And that is out.
Good piece of bowling from Ethan Frankel
Critchell's
there.
not happy about that
Hitting that Yorker
decision.
leg, the batsman trying to get a bit agricultural, as Alex would say, and high risk, high reward, and it's gone risky, and he's out there.
LBW.
But
So-
good piece of bowling from Ethan Frankel.
So Toby, you played your cricket at Scotch College, and then I always think it's important to understand how you end up at a place. How did you end up at University Cricket Club?
So I obviously played with the great Benji Melville at Scotch College, who unfortunately didn't get picked today, but he played first grade for university, and I was just having a chat with him, and he came down here a year before me and said he was having a great time and really good people, and it looked like you were going in the right direction. And I needed somewhere to go after my school years, obviously. So I came down, trained in the pre-season. You guys trained me harder than I ever probably have trained, and I love
That's what we do here.
love a good competitive environment, and that's what drew me in. And then I've been here for pretty much 2 years now.
Yep.
And yeah, looking to work my way up the grades and hopefully make an impact for the club.
Fantastic. I do enjoy that, Alex. Every year we get this cohort of young players straight out of school, and it is quite enjoyable putting through their first full pre-season, seeing the cheeks go redder than they've ever been in their lives. And just to round out the discussion, Toby, one thing I know about you is you're a very good longboard surfer. How is that going this winter?
I don't think I've picked up a longboard for about 6 weeks.
All right.
I've been either studying at home or playing cricket, which is, not a bad thing. With a good ball, and that's what we call wide, I think. Good bouncer though, nice and quick from Frankel. Got his tail up with the wind, I think.
So
It's also a surfing family, and surfed my whole life, and haven't been out recently, but summer's always a good time to start up again with a little wave in Perth, and hopefully with uni ending, I can spend a bit more time in the water.
do you ever surf the artificial reef that got made? Is it Leighton? I'm sure.
Leighton?
Yeah.
I don't think I've surfed there for about 3 years.
Right.
But, that artificial reef was put there to encourage surfing and other sea life to come back to Perth.
Yes.
Yeah, which is really good. And but yes, you'll see me down there lots with my blonde hair and surfboard.
And what size longboard do you? Just to round out the discussion, what size longboard do you?
It's 9'6".
9'6".
A lot heavier than me.
That is a serious canoe.
Yes, it's a canoe. But, yeah.
Wonderful. So that's the sort of Toby's a lovely example of the type of person that ends up at University Cricket Club. They've always got a story to tell, Alex, and Toby, every one of them is quite entertaining, I always find.
Absolutely, they're a really good bunch of young guys coming through. Toby understands that I like a bit of a random question, a bit of a rare question, and one of my favourite check-in questions, which I'm going to pose to Toby now, as Will Basisto is about to come on to bowl, bowling his right arm off spin. In an Olympic pool-sized environment, 6 feet deep, who's winning a fight out of a great white shark and a polar bear?
Oh, some riveting stuff going on there.
I would have to say the polar bear. I just think if it's full of water, even the polar bear, I think I've just got to give it to the polar bear.
Bear's got winning on points. So Will Basisto now. Let's get back to the cricket. Will Basisto bowling to James Godfrey.
It's absolutely the right answer, by the way. Go Team Polar Bear. Let's go.
And that's a single to deep mid on. Score is currently 3 for 63 off 8.1 overs. So we've passed the halfway mark of this innings because we're only bowling 15 overs. Jordan Rhodes has come in and laced a pull shot the first ball he faced. So the target round now is another 31 runs. off just so it's 31 runs off around about 40. I'm going to say about 40 balls.
Was just losing his length in the wicket a little bit there, and Rhodes has pushed him down to long on for a single, down to, I think that is Tom Murray fielding down there. Basisto coming back to the club this year after a stint away playing Sheffield Shield cricket for South Australia and some very good cricket for Adelaide University. It's a great reacquisition.
Godfrey down the wicket, he's lofted that. It's going to land. Oh!
Grayling just missing the ball.
An excellent attempt of Grayling. I think they're going to call that a 4.
Just bouncing before the boundary for 4.
Diving attempt by Bernard Grayling with his left hand.
That's what we love about 2020 cricket as well.
Put it all on the line.
Exciting.
Had that gone to hand, it might have made the game rather interesting. But the extra boundary, I think Midland are well ahead in the equation at this point in time.
Absolutely the case at the moment.
And that's a single to short fine leg. Chislett picking up and throwing.
Great fielding from Jay Chislett there. Slide and throw. Up there with Tommy Gosling as one of our best fielders, I would have thought. Jay?
3 for 69. 4 balls into this 9th over. So University in dire need of a couple of wickets here now.
Rhodes just standing up and punching Basisto down the ground there for a single.
So Midland have won their first two T20s and currently sit atop the group of Pool C. So if they were to win today, they would have completed the 3-game qualification undefeated. Now, from what I understand, the finals are the quarterfinals and the semi-finals are next week for the seniors, and then in 2 weeks' time, the quarterfinals and the semi-finals for the Colts, which is the under-21. So it's been a very, very hectic start to the season. I think we've had one Sunday off in over 2 months. So us coaches have been doing double time.
Absolutely, much to the chagrin of my very wonderful and very supportive fiancée. Shout out to Shari there for allowing me to come and throw balls and watch cricket for an inordinate amount of time.
I think that's something that at this level of cricket, there's a lot of sacrifices made by a lot of people, but the sacrifices made by partners to give up time with if it be a player or a coach for there's not a great deal of monetary return at this level. You know, you do it for the love.
Yeah, look, it's not paying all of my bills, is it, William? But or yours, but no, we do it because well, for me, it's because coaching these young men and watching them develop, not only as cricketers but as humans, is one of the best things I can think of. So as Tommy Gosling comes in and bowls a slower ball as opposed to his usual pace ball, beating the outside edge of Rhodes there.
So the score is 3 for 70 after 9.1 overs. So I believe there's still one power play over to take, which I don't think has been taken yet by the batting side.
Gosling hits him on the back leg, and that's leg before wicket.
Leg before wicket to Tom Gosling. That's Jordan Rhodes dismissed.
Absolutely. A little bit of
much
contention.
needed wicket for University.
A little bit of contention from the batsman there, standing and staring, much like Critchell before, but unfortunately once the finger is up, it is up.
You ever seen an umpire change his LBW decision, Alex?
Not because someone got a little bit upset and looked at them, no.
I think the best thing when you get out given out LBW is to take a deep breath and walk.
Yeah, there's no good can come from spraying our umpires who also.
Not that he sprayed him. No, not at all. Let's not make out as he did anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong there. He was just disappointed, you know. No. So and that I understand. All batsmen are disappointed when they get out. So
absolutely, especially something that can be as subjective as a leg before wicket, but. our umpires do a wonderful job, and they do absolutely the best they can. As Jordan Mast comes in here to bat, he's not coming in to bowl. He bowled quite well earlier in our innings. It was nice to see no front foot, no balls either.
Yes. Okay, so it's 4 for 70 off 9.2 overs. So after this over, there's 5 overs to go. And currently Midland need 24 more runs to complete the victory. So that would be 24 off 34 deliveries, if we're keeping track of the equation, which I'll try and do for you at home now. 24 off 34. And I would think that University would be keen for another couple of wickets if they are going to be any chance to pull off a late comeback here in today's Premier T20 match.
Absolutely. A little change in the field here. Two in short on the leg side there. Gosling in. He's bowled full and wonderfully fielded by Charlie Stobo. And he's hit the stumps. James Bracey was there to cover that. Bracey's been a wonderful inclusion to the club as well this year. Obviously a very classy cricketer. He played a couple of tests for England and has played plenty of county cricket and premier cricket across Western Australia and Victoria. What are your thoughts on Bracey's brief time at the club so far, Will?
It's Gosling into... and that's sort of an outside edge down to third man from Mast. So 1 run to the score. James is just a lovely person. He's out here with his fiancée Natalie and or Tally.
Tally, as she's called.
She's called.
Want to go Nat, apparently.
And his work ethic is exceptional. So, and that's one of the reasons we wanted him out here. Is that just a great role model for young players, and being a keeper, he's really here to help our young keepers learn the trade. And I know he's done a power of work already with Xander Melville, who's our young first grade keeper, and that a professional who's full time who just wants to come out and help. That's exactly what we want at Clubland. So I can't speak highly enough of James. I think he's a great addition to our club, and very excited to see both how he helps us in a coaching capacity and also in a playing capacity whilst he's out here.
Absolutely. Obviously a little bit dry with the bat today, but first game off the plane, still jet lag, came out and scored a magnificent 136, I think it was, or 29 or something along those lines. A massive partnership with Will Basisto, so class was there for all to see. Also a very interesting golfer, William. Loves a flop shot.
Oh, really?
Loves a flop shot. Adds loft to everything, as there's a short...
Now, we've got an issue here. I believe Jordan Masters torn a hamstring here. He's certainly limping and favouring that left leg.
Yeah, he doesn't look super comfortable there, does he?
No, he's now lying on the ground, face down. Can't be cramp. Someone's yelled out cramp, but I don't think it's cramp. He's only been out there 10 minutes. It's not a good thing when you're face down in the ground with a hamstring tear.
Not good to be face down on the ground at cricket anyway, Will.
But he's up and about now. Not sure what's happened there. He went down to the ground, had no treatment, and then got up.
Different people out in Midland there in the eastern suburbs, Will. As we see one of the club greats, an absolute fixture, Vivian Lyle-Paver, come on to bowl after a pretty handy innings with the bat. Who's going to come in and bowl some unorthodox off-spin.
So the equation here is 21 runs off 30 balls with 6 wickets in hand. And Viv Paver into the attack to his former flatmate Jordan Mast, who's down the wicket, lofting. Tom Murray under it and has held the catch.
First ball, Vivian Lyle-Paver. And this is why we love him at university. Still playing first grade at, what is he, 53, 54 years of age now, William?
Not quite.
No, he just celebrated his 34th birthday in style a couple of weeks ago.
So just an update. Whilst we got the break in play, it is now, the equation here is 21 runs off 29 balls with 5 wickets in hand. And down the road in Pool C, the other game in Pool C, Scarborough have finished their 9-over innings at 5 for 72. And Claremont Nedlands in reply are 1 for 16. So, given the rain today, there's still all results available at this point in time. We've got a 9-over game and a 15-over game, but still results very much in the balance.
That is what we love about cricket. It throws up some interesting scenarios. And I think we've got Braden Brehart coming into bat here.
Now, under the new rules, he will have to be on strike.
Yes, that is absolutely right. The crossing of the batsman is irrelevant now when a catch is completed. That's what you want. You want to bowl at the new batsman.
So the not-out batsman, James Godfrey, 15 off 11 balls, so he's scoring at a good click. And Braden Brehart?
I'm just guessing at this point.
I'm hoping it's Brehart.
Apologies if it's not.
Yeah,
if
if I've got that wrong, my apologies. I think Jordan Mast had hurt himself there, Alex, and I think he just threw the bat, see if he could get a boundary.
Certainly looked like it. Braden, from my understanding, likes to hit straight and long, and just stood there and dabbed one to short mid-wicket for a dot.
So 21 off 28 balls. Just a tightening of the equation as the wicket fell. And that is a single for Brehart to get off mark.
Just missing his length there, I think a little bit paves, allowing a little bit of width, cutting out to the easy on the eye, Mitchell Drennan. Aesthetically pleasing, I think some would say.
So, we've got the right-handed James Godfrey, who's not going to die wondering, facing Viv Paver. And he has defended that ball. So Paver into Godfrey, who's worked that round the corner for no run. So 1 ball to come in this over. So 4.1 overs to go in the game. And still 20 runs required for victory by Midlands. And there's a run out on here. Not out. Brehart had backed up halfway down the pitch. And
wonderful movement there from James Bracey. Glove straight off. Grab, turn and spin.
So a good over there by Paver. 1 run off it and a wicket. Just what the university side needed. So there's now 4 overs left. 20 runs to get. 5 wickets in the shed for Midlands. So game on, Alex, as we approach the end of a very, very long day.
Absolutely, the ebb and flow of T20 cricket. And I think they've just taken the surge over here. I could be incorrect though.
Yeah, no, this looks like it. So, as we said, there was 1 surge over left that the batting team had to take. They have decided to take it now with 20 runs left and 4 overs to go.
The surge, I believe, is 3 out. Is that right, William?
I'm going to say 2.
Well, we've got 3 out here, so maybe they haven't taken the surge.
No, they haven't taken the surge because the 4th man has just gone out, so there's no way that this is the surge.
Good effort from your commentators there, everyone, paying lots of attention to what's happening.
Wicket up the road, Claremont 2 for 18, chasing 72.
Tommy Gosling into Braden Brehart. We think it's Brehart. Old teammates. Here we go.
And there's a run out on here.
The pace
Oh,
off.
boy.
He would have had it for a direct hit. They've looked
He
for
was
the
going to be
second.
stone dead. Ethan Frankel at point. He was going to be out by 2 or 3 metres if that hit.
Frankie doesn't miss him often. So you've got a chance your luck there. But it's another run to Midland-Guilford.
Just shades of a small amount of panic in that sort of run.
It's a little bit frantic, not completely, but there's some franticness about it.
I'll tell you what a wonderful advertisement for Premier Cricket. 2 teams slugging it out. Wet day, but they've battled it out. And even as we approach the end of a very long day, we still don't know the winners of Pool C and who's going to go through. I just think this, again, we're seeing Premier Cricket sort of showcase itself as a great version of the game to watch.
Absolutely. I think there are times when Premier Cricket can be forgotten about in terms of a spectacle to watch, but you know, it's as close as you're going to get to professional cricket without having actual professionals there.
Field by Chislett at third man. They're going for the second. The run out's on. He's gone.
And he's gone.
No.
He's just come through for the 2 runs there.
Oh, that's he'll be disappointed with that misfield Chislett.
That's all right.
Usually a pretty safe pair of hands.
We'll put some work into him on Tuesday night with him. No, as I was saying, you know, Premier Cricket is a really high quality product, and I think people forget that when they think about what kind of cricket should we watch. First grade cricket here, there are some really, really good cricketers, and it needs to probably take a little bit more
And that
credit.
is 4 runs to Godfrey. 5 for 81 here, so we're now only 11 runs away for victory from Midland. That was a pretty critical boundary.
Just tucking it off the hip there, down to deep backward square, and beating the man down there.
So
Gosling creeping a little bit straight there potentially.
I think University are now in a last chance cafe here. They really do need a wicket or 2 to stay in this game. And that is in the air. It's
high.
under it. And it's
Murray
caught,
has caught it
on the boundary.
Tommy
As-
Gosling with the
as I
signature
said
celebration.
As I said it, so delivers.
Could you mention a few more wickets there, please, William? That'd be magnificent. 6 down with, I think that's Kelly Jones coming out the bat.
So the victory target here is 94. The current score is 6 for 81. There are 19 balls left, so the requirement is 13 runs off 19 balls with 4 wickets in hand. And if they tie on 93 runs, it will be a super over.
Will it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
I should
So
have probably
University
done more
fighting
homework.
very hard here. Claremont up the road, 2 for 28, chasing 72 runs to win off their 9 overs. So they've got 5 overs to get. That's a lot of runs.
43 runs. No. 53 runs.
53 runs.
43 runs.
No, I'm going to say 45 runs there, Alex.
Yeah. It's a good thing that I
So they need
no pretensions of being a maths teacher.
9 overs. They need 9 runs and over up at Scarborough to get the chocolates up there, Claremont. So a good game up the road and a good game here. We're down to 19 balls left, so the last ball of Gosling's over. Midland are 6 for 81. New batsman on strike. And that will be out.
And
Oh!
it's gone down to the boundary, well fielded by Chislett.
2 leg buys.
For 2.
And
It was very full, and it hit him what appeared to be very straight, but
oh boy.
umpires make these decisions, and we've just got to sit with
Oh
them.
boy. Yeah. That to the untrained eye, and we're at deep point where we're commentating.
It's very hard to see from deep back. With the point.
It looked close.
It did, didn't it?
It looked very close.
Obviously,
But they got 2 runs out of it, so that's very handy to Midland. So now they only need 11 runs to win. off 3 overs. So 12 overs gone, 6 for 83. But a good over there by Tom Gosling. And we're going to see spin for the third last over here from Viv Paver.
High risk, high reward, as they say. Spin here. Absolutely a chance to take a couple of wickets straight up the chimney.
I think University are going to have to keep taking wickets if they're going to have any chance of winning this game.
I don't think we're doing it in dots. Paver
And
just
that is
erring
a
on his length.
cut shot. Looks like it's going to be a minimum of 2 runs here.
And
Yes.
fields fantastically out there at deep backward point. 2 runs to Rehorn.
85, so 6 for 85 off 12.1 overs. So we're now down to 9 runs needed off 17 balls. And Brihot on strike. And
Big appeal there.
might have clipped the pad first as he played that, because Bracey was up very quickly for the appeal there. So 9 off 16 balls. Down the wicket.
Right down the wicket.
And 1 run.
Straight to Grayling.
So
Wonderful arm.
8 off 15 to win the game. With the new batsman on strike, Kelly Jones. Well, I said it last over that University need a wicket. I still think they need another wicket or 2, Alex.
Suggest they would with 3 or 4. Paver outside off. Cut shot goes underneath that there. And dot ball, which is always welcome.
8 off 14 as the equation just tightens again.
Just
Ooh.
sliding them across Jones here. 2 player misses with some cut shots.
So the last ball of Paver's over, about to be bowled. 8 runs still needed for victory, and 13 balls left here.
Be surprised if this was very quick and very full.
And
It's one of those things.
Kelly has got that out to deep square leg for a single. So good over there by Paver.
Two overs to come, and I think probably 7.
6 for 87, so 7 runs to complete the victory. 12 balls left in the innings, and 4 wickets left in the shed.
Regardless of the result here, Will, it's been a wonderful day of cricket at James Oval. The ground obviously looking a treat. And plenty of supporters up here in the pavilion. Canteen's been doing a roaring trade under the supervision of the wonderful Meg, who puts in a lot of her time and effort to make sure that we're all fed and watered. So big shout out to Megs.
Yeah, look, I think these occasions are just a showcase of what can be done at Premier level. And shame we couldn't get 20 overs in today, but we're going to get 15 aside, and it's been a cracking game. It's still 2 overs to go, and whilst Midland are short price favourites from here, it's been a tight battle all afternoon. So
Anything can happen in cricket with you, as you well know. As I think some Afghani cricket fans probably know as well, after Glenn Maxwell's ridiculous innings, anything can happen in cricket as Stobo comes in.
Played to point,
Jones is
and first single. So 1 run closer to the target here for Midland. And Brehort, who's still at the crease, back on strike to Charlie Stobo. So Stobo bowling his last over of the innings. Well, last year University played South Perth in the inaugural full broadcast game, and South Perth got the chocolate. So University was hoping to to get a victory in the full broadcast today.
Hopefully that's still the case.
Still the case. But at this point, it would be short price for Midland to get the chocolates at this point in time. But I think Charlie Stobo has other things on his mind. I think he's coming around the wicket to Brehort here, which does mean the cameraman is having to move some equipment at the far end of the field.
Yeah. Side screen's now directly behind the camera operator. I don't know how Brehort's going to feel about that. He might have to get him to move, unfortunately.
So 3 for 46 up the road off 6 overs. So 3 overs to go up at Scarborough.
Can he move and keep the camera there or not?
Need to get to 73 to win that game. So game on up the road, game on here. As we count down the last few overs of Pool C qualifiers for this Premier T20 tournament.
Here comes Stobo to Brehort. He's bowled full and chipped out to deep cover. It's just going to be the single there to Tom Murray.
Yeah.
It's a very athletic fielder.
So score moves to 89, which puts them 5 runs short of their winning target with 10 balls left in the innings. Every time we've got into this situation, I've said University need a wicket to stay in the match, and I think we are very much in that situation again here, Alex.
Concur completely.
And a good bouncer by Charlie Stobo for no runs.
It's an awkward proposition, Charlie. He's very tall and not rapid pace. He's quick enough and very uncomfortable. I would have thought it's a face. Especially
Kelly Jones is on strike here. He's 2 not out off 6 balls. He's just faced a bouncer from Charlie Stobo. There's 9 balls left in the innings. 5 runs to complete the victory for Midland-Guilford and 4 wickets needed by University. Kelly down the wicket and he's nicked it.
Kelly Jones has nicked it.
No.
And he's given it not out after a really loud sound as it went past the bat.
I said he's nicked it because I heard a sound from here, but maybe that wasn't bat.
Yeah, look, it sounded very woody, and obviously the umpire's in the best position to call that. So, look, a dot ball's almost as good as a wicket in that scenario.
So, situation, 8 balls to go, 5 runs needed. Stobo in to Kelly. And another dot ball.
Maybe he heard me saying that he's not express pace because that came out about 15 k's an hour quicker, William. I might have been a little bit upset that he didn't get the
so
nick. So
6 for 89, Alex. 7 balls left in the innings. 1 ball left in this Charlie Stobo over. 5 runs needed for Midland and 4 wickets left in the shed for Midland. Kelly Jones on strike. He's got 2 runs off 8 balls, and there's some support from the balcony for the Uni boys.
So the wonderful representation from Uni, young and old here, current players, former players, club legends, and I'm certain there are some family and friends as well. It's a wonderful sort of family-oriented club here down at James Oval.
So Stobo in. And that is a ramp for no run. So
down to the last over.
Down to the last over. 6 balls left in this group Pool C match.
6 balls, 4 runs, William. And yeah.
4 runs for a tie, which would mean a super over.
4 for a tie, and it's they've had to take the surge over here.
Yes.
Being the last over, so only 2 out. Brehort on strike. I'm interested to see who is going to bowl this final over.
And a wicket up the road.
It's
Clermont a 4 for
Jay
37.
Jay Chislett bowling the final over here.
So, wow. Jay Chislett the leg spinner, has been trusted with the ball here in the final over, which, because the Midland-Guilford side has not taken the surge up until now, this has to be a surge over. So there is only allowed to be 2 fielders out as he commences this over.
Jay is...
So we are... Wow. What a game. What a game.
What a finish to
What
the
a game. We've been here since the crack of dawn. Well, before, if you're me, you've been here since before the crack of dawn this morning, looking at the covers, making sure that we got games in today. And here we are, just past 5 o'clock, and it's down to the last over, being bowled by Jay Chislett. Braden Brihort.
Sounds like the Angelo Street coffee shops are going to get a workout from you tomorrow morning.
I tell you, I'm going to need 2 cappuccinos tomorrow to get moving after today, Alex. Double espresso tomorrow morning.
For that. No, look, we've got Chislett on to bowl this final over here, and it might be seen as a bit of a chancy move, having Chislett, the leg spinner, bowling the final over. But one thing that we believe in here at university is that we back our bowlers and we back their skills, and if they believe and they've proven that they are capable of doing so, then away they go.
Well, Paver has an over left, Drennan has an over left, Frankel has an over left, and Resisto has 2. So this is a definitive choice that they want. Jay Chislett. It's not that so they've put the ball in the hand of the premium leg spinner from last year, the man who made the Premier Cricket Team of the Year. Jay Chislett is coming off a 5 against Rockingham yesterday, and they've said, Jay, go to work.
Absolutely. And it's Jay's a really skillful bowler, got wonderful control. So
Chislett
what happens here.
Into Brihort, and he's cut that straight to cover for no run.
Dot ball, 5 off 5. We're looking for a runner ball here.
Well, this has been a good defence by University. They've got it down to a runner ball, where it hasn't been a runner ball for a long time. So a very good late piece of defence, let's call it defence.
Yeah.
Chislett into Brihort. Down the wicket, lofting.
And that has gone
skied
for
that,
6.
and that is the game over.
That is the game.
6 runs. A big strike by Brihort.
Brings an end to an absolutely enthralling game of cricket down here at James Oval. Unfortunately, University unable to take the bickies, but it's a credit to them that they pushed it as far as they did after that rain interruption, and probably a slightly disappointing batting innings there. So full credit goes to Midland Guilford. They played well, and they've played consistently well throughout the tournament. And, we wish them all the best moving forward in the competition. Hopefully they can take it deep and go really well.
Yeah, look, I think the reality is this game was one. The defining passages of play probably happened in the first innings, with the University failing to sort of put a more competitive total on the board, which meant that Midland could sort of come and bat at the pace they wanted to bat at for their innings. It's a good result for Midland. They obviously go through as the top qualifier from Pool C, having won all 3 of their games, and we just await the result from up the road at Abbott Park, where currently Clermont are 4 for 37 off 6.2 overs, chasing 73 for victory. So looks like there might be a tight game up the road there as well. But just to wind up today, Alex, as we see the umpires come off the field, is well done to Midland Guilford for their victory today. Thank you to the committee at University Cricket Club for organising this full broadcast for the viewers out there in Premier T cricket land today. And most importantly, thank you to James Chatfield and the Chatfield Group for sponsoring this full broadcast. As I've mentioned a few times today, they have been our live stream partner for the last 6 years, and with them we have broken ground consistently on what it is to bring the best coverage of Premier cricket to you at home, and that has been done because of the generosity of the Chatfield Group. So we want to thank them for everything they do for University Cricket Club, and thank them for their continued support in this broadcasting of Premier cricket. Alex, anything from you as we finish up?
Look, obviously disappointing result for Uni, but that was a wonderful advertisement for Premier Cricket and Premier T20, and hopefully more clubs can jump on board the broadcasting bandwagon and get what a wonderful product we have out here to the rest of the country, or apparently France as well.
France and the UK. Hi to our friends in the UK as well. So as we sign off here from James Oval, thank you for tuning in to today's live stream. Really appreciate your support of University Cricket, and we look forward to bringing you more of these full broadcasts in the future. But from James Oval, thank you and goodbye.